Hey guys, my name is Simpzy. How are you all doing? Welcome back to the Great War mod on Napoleon Total War. We're playing as the United Kingdom, so let's get back into the campaign. Now guys, in today's episode we're going to be pushing against the Germans. We're going to be pushing against their eastern blockade, their front line, and hopefully beating them here today. So we have a battle on our hands at Cassel. Hesse, I think that's how you say it. But we're going to be fighting the Germans here today. We have Leonard Wood leading the command. I have changed up the armies a little bit. I will recap our holdings in modern day Germany and the army builds. So we have Leonard Wood leading the charge, 4 units of Australian Light Horse, put some more light mortars. Now because of these holdings in Munich, Innsbruck and Stuttgart, we were able to improve our units. So we have a lot of Coldstream Guard instead of just the regular volunteers, and we have some elite battalions here. Also have some Canadian shock infantry, only 1 unit because these Coldstream Guard, the elite battalion, are a lot better stats wise. But I thought it'd be cool to have a unit of Canadian shock troops. Maybe once we get the New Zealand shock troops as well. We have George Walker, who was leading the main army. However, he's not going up in stats, and Leonard Wood is a lot better. We have another third stack pushing up with John Fisher, which has a machine bunker and a couple more Canadians. So we have 3 full stacks pushing up. The Germans have 2 full stacks at Hanover, so this is going to even be a bigger battle. But the Germans aren't doing too well. Let's sort of recap how the world is going. So the French have taken Brussels. Once the Germans took it, they've taken 2 settlements here, Oldenburg and Frisia. On the eastern front, the Russians are pushing heavily against the Germans. I thought the Germans would have put up more of a fight, but they are getting absolutely smashed from all sides. They've lost West and East Prussia and Warsaw and Poland to the Russians. So they've only got a couple of territories left. So I'm obviously pushing up and down from the south. The French are pushing up from the west, having a couple of battles here. And now the Russians are coming from the east, so they're getting fucked big time. The French and the Russians are actually blockading their naval ports. Kattegat. Obviously, Vikings. I know. I just saw that and I just smiled looking at it. So we have 3 armies pushing up here. We do have a smaller army in Munich, and we have a full stack in Innsbruck with Richard Turner. So basically, been turning it up. A couple of things we also need to recap. Italy has declared war on us. We are at war with Italy, so we're going to have to be prepared for them. I've made the decision to split up my navy and block all the ports in Italy. So we're blocking the port here in Genoa. We're also blocking the port in Venice. So Italy is basically cut off from trade at the moment. We're also blocking off the Austrian ports, the Austro-Hungarian ports in Croatia and in Trieste, I think that's how you say it, have the Queen Elizabeth. But basically, I don't know why in this mod, but none of the other factions have taken the initiative to take any trade nodes. So I have trade node superiority. There's only 2 trade nodes that we don't have. So we're getting furs from the Black Sea. There's 2 trade nodes here. I thought I'd take these ones just in case they got taken. But as you see here, we have all these trade nodes across the Mediterranean, the southern Atlantic Ocean, and then to the northern here, which is absolutely fantastic. If you want to have a look at my trade rights, we're getting 1400 per turn. I would try to get some more trade rights with other factions. We do need to build more ports. We are building the port up here in Glasgow, but we're going to continue to push against the Germans. Once we've finished off with them, we'll push against the Austro-Hungarian Empire. Now, interestingly enough, Switzerland actually declared war on me. They were allies with the Germans and the Austrian-Hungary Empire. So I actually had an army near Stuttgart. I quickly pushed over the border and attacked Switzerland. And I thought there was nothing really happening in that episode. There wasn't a guaranteed battle. And Switzerland didn't even have a very big army. I don't know if they got drawn into a war with me or they just decided to attack me. So I was like, okay, I quickly sent an army over, order resolved. And now the Swiss have bent the knee to the United Kingdom. They are the protectorates of me, minus 35. So they don't like me overly too much. They are trade partners with France. So we have subjugated the Swiss. I thought about taking it, but then it also leaves another border for the Italians. I don't particularly want to fight the Italians just yet. I'd rather quickly knock out the Germans and then push against the Austro-Hungarian Empire. These are the two central powers that are like allies, of course. Objectives-wise, we still need another 11 more regions before we hit our victory conditions. What else? Winston Churchill is still here. Awesome. I'm trying to think what else. Research and technologies wise, we're still waiting for the assembly lines to get the ability to get some bigger artillery, because at the moment we're only getting mortars. We can't get any more. We can't actually construct these factory districts which give us tanks, which is understandable. I know why you have to wait a while to get these technologies. I have negotiated with other factions to try get technologies, but it just doesn't look like it's going to happen. So we'll hold our little empire here in Stuttgart, Munich, and Innsbruck. Obviously, we still have the United Kingdom and Ireland, and we have Gibraltar in the Iberian Peninsula. Thinking about might even attacking I think I'm getting tongue-tied here. I need to calm down a little bit. All that stuff I recapped. I wouldn't mind actually going to war with Portugal. Obviously, Lisbon, there's a couple of nice ports here because we get some nice trade rights, and they're relatively neutral. It'd be nice sort of like to connect up our empire here. So if I have any spare armies, I might actually attack Portugal, even though we're focusing on the Germans and the Austrians. The Austrians have given us a better fight than the Germans. Mind you, as I did say, they are getting blocked through all their ports. And are they at war with Denmark? Where does Denmark's allegiance lie? Oh, they actually bent the knee to the Germans. Greece are allies with the Ottomans. The Netherlands are allies with myself, Russia, and France. Norway's allies with Sweden. Portugal are neutral. Romania are neutral. Spain are allied with myself and France. Sweden are allied with Norway. They're at war with the Germans. And, okay, so does that mean I could get an alliance with Sweden? Portugal, very friendly. Norway are allies with Sweden. Would you like an alliance, Norway? No, just out of curiosity. Denmark are a protectorate, so they've actually bent the knee to the Germans. Interesting. Well, I think that's all I've recapped. I've been speaking for 7 minutes, but I do like recapping the campaign. I like setting the stage for World War I. So let's get into the fight against the Germans here today. I've rambled on long enough. Okay, so we're coming up against 1 unit of light howitzers, 1 unit of light mortars, rifle battalion, the rest conscript battalion, rifle battalion, and then some armed veterans. I feel like we're quite comfortably going to win this battle, but we'll just have to see. So let's fight this battle here today. The Battle of Cassel. Once we've taken this region, we'll be able to push up and take, hopefully, the other German army out. They do have a pretty big military presence on this Western Front. So you got to give it to the Germans. They are putting up a little bit, but not too much of a fight. I thought they'd be a lot more dominant. My apologies, just had to have a quick sip of water. Maybe with my aggression coming over pretty early on across the channel. So, let's sort of see here. Okay, right, let's get the line infantry up. So this is our first battle with the Canadian shock infantry. So where can I deploy? Where's my deployment zone? Where's the map? There we are. For some reason, every time I load into the game, the HUD's off. I don't know why that is. So, we have 2 deployment zones here. I wonder if that's where the other guys are going. Well, the Germans are coming from us head on. Let's make 1 front. So... oh, okay, we only can go behind there. That rock's a bit of a pain in the ass. And basically, looks a little bit like a miniature Uluru. Here's rock to my British subscribers. Or people who know it as that. Okay. Right, let's have a look at this Canadian shock infantry. Ah, okay, very interesting. Very, very nice. Okay, well, on this hill I could maybe even put like the machine guns. That would be quite cool. I don't think I can though. No, because the deployment zone isn't that far. Okay, well, where's this Canadian shock infantry? These guys are sort of a little bit more spread out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my machine guns in a space here. Okay, I'm going to have to make that a little bit wider. Might put it on this other side here. Just need to get my line infantry and get everything set out before the big hurrah. Alright, so let's put my machine guns just here then. Because I don't want to cause any friendly fire if I don't have to. Right, so we'll chuck you there. Line infantry. We're going to have to refix up the Canadians now after I just sort of fucked with them. Alright, chuck you there, get the barricades up. Perfect. Let's go back with the Canadians. We'll quickly just deploy you here. Right, make sure everyone's on guard mode, because I don't want them charging up and over the wall like they did last time. Why are the Canadians set? Oh, the Canadians don't have a guard mode. That's interesting. I do apologise if you can hear a train going past my house. Right, we'll put my Australian light horse on the flanks. Okay. Right. Mortars. Unlimber. Let's put them here. Because I might actually leave a unit of light horse in the forest just here, just to protect my artillery. Right, chuck you here. Right, so what have we got to deploy? We've got my mortars to deploy next. So we'll put one unit of mortars here. And we'll put another unit of mortars probably on the right flank a lot more. Try spread the mortars out a bit, of course. Okay. Artillery at the ready. Where's their artillery, a matter of fact? Because I want to try and neutralise theirs. So there's their... there's artillery on the right flank. Alright. I'm going to move my general just behind the rock here. That'll give us some bombardment cover. But I think we're pretty well right to start cracking on with the battle. We are attacking them. So, sorry about that one, guys. I got interrupted. Regardless, let's quickly just check my mortars. I didn't even get to start the battle. I want to see... Okay, so my mortars aren't in range, and neither are theirs. Okay, fair enough. Right, let's start the battle here today. Let's get my artillery to fire at theirs. And... Right, I was just curious to see if my reinforcements... But, light howitzers, take aim! Prepare to rain fire and death upon the enemy. I'd be interested to see if they actually try and charge me. So then they haven't unlimbered their light howitzers. Very, very interesting. So here are the Germans. Please do note that this mod glitches out from time to time. Oh, that's disappointing if they're not going to unlimber. Regardless, if you guys still are enjoying the Great War mod on Napoleon Total War, I'd really appreciate it if you could hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. The download links in the description below if you want to download this mod and play along with me. Okay, so it doesn't look like my machine guns are going to get any action. I really am enjoying this mod, World War II. This is probably the most up-to-date, most modern Total War you could play, mod-wise. The most... Oh, perfect. We're getting some nice bombardments off. Nearly destroyed their artillery. If we can do that, we're going to be in a superb position to sit back and rain fire into upon them. There is a time limit, so we're going to have to watch out for that, of course. Let's actually get some action shots with the howitzers. It is quite loud, so my apologies. The most up-to-date Total War was the Shogun 2 Total War. Fall of this... It was Shogun 2 Total War was the DLC, the Fall of the Samurai. Not the... the Boshin War. Okay. Or maybe, I don't know. Maybe it was the Boshin War for the samurai? Oh, I can't remember. Regardless, we've nearly neutralised their artillery. We're going to continue to speed things up a bit, because artillery and bombardments do take a while. And seeing as we now have artillery superiority, we might as well sit back and let my artillery do most of the work, bombarding them as best we can. I'm going to try bombard their main line, because once that 30-minute time limit rocks up, we're going to have to charge. We are getting some nice shots off here. They're going to sit and take it by the looks of it. Oh, getting some very nice shots on. We do have explosive shell on, which does obviously launch shrapnel and debris, killing more units. So let's continue to speed things up a bit. 40 out of that unit, but apart from that, haven't lost that many of those other units. They don't have any reinforcements. But at least we managed to destroy at least 2 pieces of their artillery. They do have their own mortars as well. We've had a couple of good battles against the Germans. You gotta give it to them. Alright, continue to bombard. Let's actually redirect our fire on the cavalry. Try to weaken all their units. 8 killed in that bombardment. Because once we charge up and over... So this is the Coldstream Guard, the second version of them. These guys are better. The Canadian Shock Infantry. These are more like a skirmisher. These guys have really good attack on them. I would like to get 1 unit of Kiwi and whatnot. They're quite nice. Right, how are we going here? 22 of them. Oh wow, we've absolutely shelled the buggery out of that unit. Killed 100 of them. We're weakening up their centre quite well. How are we going for time? 48 minutes. I'll charge once it gets to half an hour. Alright. Like I said, I want to try weaken up all their units as best we can. Might even try to start bombarding this 16... Well, these are conscripts. Actually, where's the sort of best units? Well, I won't even bother about hitting those others. Let's hit the riflemen here, because these are probably their best unit. Yeah, fuck hitting those conscripts on the side when I can hit the 4th Regiment Rifle Infantry. So basically just sit back, relax, let our artillery bomb the hell out of them. So let me know once I finish off the Germans, should I push against the Austrians? I think I will. I think it's a natural progression to do so. Depending on... Well, I want to finish off the Germans and the Austrians, regardless if I hit my victory condition. Whether or not we push against the Italians, I don't know. The Italians obviously fought with the United Kingdom and Russia, the French historically, not in World War II. They actually lost a fair number of battles against the Austrians. So I don't particularly want to go to war with the Italians. I'd much rather try finish off the Central Powers, such as Austria and the Germans. But I do plan on, I don't know, I may be doing some other factions on this mod. It's been thoroughly enjoyable, maybe playing as the Germans or Russia. Or like I said previously, maybe play as Denmark or Sweden or Portugal, try to recreate. I say recreate, I mean fucking, not recreate, have an alternative history. Make a Swedish empire or a Portuguese empire. Among the conflict of World War I. Right. A couple more minutes remaining. How are we going? 20 minutes into this part. Not too bad. I did ramble on for 7 minutes, just recapping, of course. Still raining fire and death upon the 4th Regiment. Whoever thought, once again, it was a good idea to give artillery unlimited ammunition. Oh my god. Especially if superiority. Lucky I haven't been able to spam it, because I would. it's pretty superb in these line battle situations. Obviously, if they had trenches, like historically World War One was, they weren't fought in line battles like this, and artillery is already overpowered in the normal base game, let alone adding World War One artillery. Whoa, that was a significant blast. Killed 60 of their riflemen. Because once I push over with my main line, they're not going to stand a chance. The Germans, how are we going for time now? 28. We have softened these guys up quite a bit. Maybe I should just rush them, get them over and done with. But mind you, the more artillery bombardments they do, the more British lives we save from a skirmish. We'll leave it a little bit longer. I don't mind bombing and weakening the enemy with these engagements. But guys, if you haven't already, hit that like button and subscribe. I'd really much appreciate it. Also check out my social media links, Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, all in the description below, if you want to stay connected with me. How many's left now? Wow, we're absolutely decimating the Guardians. And they're just taking it. They really are. Letting this bombardment take the better of them. Alright. I said the 30th minute, but we might go to the 36th. I will let my artillery keep on bombing for support. Yeah, let's move up. Let's actually attack them. I'm sick of waiting, to be honest. Right, well, let's move up the line infantry. So we need to move past here. So basically, make a line through here. Alright. Move! Charge over the trenches! Move, move, move! Right, let's move my Australian light horse as well. I'm going to put them on the flanks. I think my machine guns are going to be safe here now, so we can move my Australian units here. Move you on the flanks. And we'll get my other forces here to push up and take the ground here. Right, continue to let my artillery hit their 4th Regiment Riflemen. It's going to be interesting to see what the AI does once I push up. Maybe I wouldn't be surprised if they actually unlimber their artillery. But we're moving up. My cavalry's going to be in range first before there. Here come the Canadian, the 1st Grenadier Regiment. Oh, they're... Oh. Okay, yeah. They're a Grenadier Regiment, a grenade unit. Oh, I thought they were skirmishers. My bad. They are a shock cavalry, to be honest. It shouldn't have surprised me. Friendly fire is horrible in this game, so I'm going to have to be very, very careful once I push up against the Germans. I might even try hit their rifle cavalry here now, once my main line pushes up. They haven't unlimbered their artillery or anything. No. So my rifles aren't in range. No, so I'm going to quickly go into pause and reform. I can't afford to sit flat-footed here and let them just pick pot shots at me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to move up like this as best I can. Alright, move up. I'm going to get my cavalry to go into melee mode and swing around and try to get a flanking maneuver here. Unless there's cavalry that pops up or something. Right, we're going to hit their cavalry on this right flank though. Let's move up. Everyone should be charging. For England! For Canada! For Australia! Okay, so a unit of armed veterans has popped up here. So it looks like they're moving up their men. The Australian light horse is coming in, the famous light horse. Oh, that's not good. Run down those armed veterans, peel off and hit the flank there. It looks like it's going to turn into a melee engagement if we're not careful. Yeah, we've pushed too far up. Go just to melee. Run them through. Go into melee. Go, 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 go. Go and support our cavalry. Right, what's happening on the flanks here? So we are getting our shots off. Alright, get my mortars to hit them. Alright, what's happening on this flank here? Yeah, right, try run these guys down. Let's peel these guys up and around as best we can. I want to neutralize their units. They are buckling. Alright, how are we doing here engaging their regiments? Not too bad. Right, we've smashed them there. We need to quickly... You just need to quickly get onto them before they start using friendly fire. Jesus, the mortars are getting their shots off here. Get my cavalry to continue to run them down. Let's run down this rifle cavalry unit. Push up and hit them. Fourth guard. Aim for that. Watch out for the Australian cavalry charging from behind. We've buckled the German line here now. These guys are still attaching their bayonets in melee mode with their Australian counterparts. Right, let's continue to run down that rifle cavalry. Right, fall the Australians out of there because there's getting way too much. Look at that. Absolutely killed about 5 of them. Halt. Halt your fire. Victory. Regardless, we are in a siege, so I'm not going to run them down. Let's end the battle. A heroic victory. A very nice battle against the Germans. I think the previous battle against the Germans, what was it, episode 2? That was probably my favourite. We had a pretty good battle against the Austrians. So, we deployed just shy under 7,600, 984. We lost 658 men of the United Kingdom Army. I would say British, but there are Canadians and Australians within this corps. I would imagine, like maybe some Australians even were in the Coldstream Regiment, some of the better ones. Maybe this are the better soldiers, I don't know. So we managed to beat George Peters, who deployed 2,886 from the German host, and we managed to kill every single one of the Germans here. So we have the we can either occupy, loot, or liberate. All of these German settlements so far have all been given the option to liberate. I'm going to occupy, even though that liberating is probably a better idea. We can continue to push. However, I do want these regions. They can give me more money, and I can get more military assistance quicker. Because this is basically like another kingdom here. Instead of recruiting in London and sailing them across the channel and pushing them through France. So, we've taken one key settlement on the western front that the Germans are holding. So we're going to be able to push this army up here. The Germans do have a full stack in Hanover and have half a stack just outside. It'd be interesting to see what's the garrison at Stettin, Berlin, and Dresden. So that's undefended, because the Germans only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 settlements left, because the Russians are pushing, the French are pushing as well, and now I am. But guys, it's time to end the video here. We're currently still at war with the Austro-Hungary, Germany, Ottomans, and Italy. We're allies with the Spanish, the French, the Netherlands, and the Russians. But it's time to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching. I imagine that we'll have the Battle of Hanover in the next episode, unless the Germans push out and hit us here. But thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Check out my social media links, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all in the description below. If you want to download and play the Great War mod, World War I, along with me, all the download links you need are in the description below. Let me know what other campaign suggestions for maybe a future, the Great War mod, or maybe another campaign on Total War. Has to be Total War, of course, so let me know. But, yeah. Thanks for watching. Take care of yourselves. Stay tuned for more content on Simpzy Total War. Goodbye.